Welcome
Welcome
to Jon and Lauren's Lifetime Christmas Movie Review. Tonight we have Holiday and Happy Hollow.
Yes, this one was an interesting one. An uppity young real estate developer is trying to get her hotel project funded. They bought a Christmas farm, and a Christmas tree farm in the town in the middle of nowhere, and they decided that they were going to build a hotel there for the town to make it a big tourist destination. And so she was getting ready to submit her proposal and then realized that there are 5 little blips on the land. And we're like, what are these? These are 1 by 1 plots of land that were sold to people in town.
In 1965.
And so now she's got to figure out
who the people
are and convince them to sign over their rights to their land.
Because she has a 10-year plan, and if anything goes awry, her whole world will crash.
Yeah. That was so she goes to the town of Happy Hollow to get to the bottom of the mystery of the 5 blips on her radar, and she goes to meet the Marianne, the town
community center lady.
And she sends her to another guy, the
town historian.
Yes, the town historian, Jack.
Who is like this little geeked out librarian-esque man.
Yep.
And, she's this like hottie, and she was just in town. So from wherever she works, it's some M state. That's what the license plate said, but we couldn't figure it out. It was 3 hours away to Happy Hollow. And so she drove there, and she's like, I'll be back, the same day. Mm-hmm. So she shows up, and she's like, hey bro, can you look up who owns these land plots?
Yeah, at first she didn't even know that. He told her that it was someone, that those were land plots that were given away.
Yeah.
And then she was like, can you help me find who owns them?
Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, maybe tomorrow. And she's like, please, I'm so hot. And so he's like, all right, fine. And so he does that, and she's very into being efficient. She's like, why call when you can text? Why do this when you can do that? And he's into old fashioned stuff. So he has an old telephone, an old pour over coffee kettle, old steampunk goggles, weird stuff. He rides a bike in the snow.
Yeah, they were polar opposites. She's the uppity, I've got to do everything as efficient as possible, and he's just the typical country, life will happen when it happens.
But not really country.
Well, I mean, but yeah. Small town vibes of I'm not in a hurry, I don't need to run around and do stuff. Things will just get taken care of.
Right. And he was like, I do not know. I am the town historian and I know everything, but I don't know these 5 people. And so she decides, I'm going to go to the Christmas tree farm land where these plots were initially given. Mm-hmm. So she goes to see this old recluse who's really not that old.
No. She was, you'd say early-ish grandma age. You would think if her age-wise, she might be late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, and she is kind of a little socially awkward. She'll be talking to her. She showed up and she was talking to her about something, and the lady was like, okay, I guess you can come in. And then she was like, radishes and just weird stuff out of nowhere. And then she's like, you can show yourself out now. Mm-hmm. And the girl's like, but we didn't finish talking. And she's just like, crossword puzzle, okay.
Yeah, she gave her 3 hints, and they were the first person is a woman.
Yes.
The second person
shorts and
shorts and
flip-flops.
And the third person was and like giving her these vague hints of like, I don't even remember what the third.
It was
because the third person was the first one they found, but I don't remember.
It was someone who had a basket of red.
No, that was the second. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Along with the smoke.
Well, anyways.
But yeah, so they give them hints of like, and that's what made this movie interesting to me was the like scavenger hunt aspect of it.
Yeah.
Where they're like, we've got to figure out what this even means.
Yeah, so they go around, she and the historian man, and, you know, they find little things. Of course, they have to do all the very odd holiday traditions, and she's very into, you know, go, 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 and he's like, you know, stop, like, enjoy your day, and smell stuff, and they went to his...
Heartthrob.
Oh,
that was
the heartthrob. When this chick was 8, the recluse, she was like, there was a 17-year-old heartthrob, and everyone wanted him. And I'm thinking, honey, you're 8. This is kind of odd, but okay. And so that's what she had to find. So she, in slowing down, heard music for a sock hop for old people. And so they went there, and of course she found the man.
Yeah. And then, well, that was the second guy. They found him at the sock hop, but first they found the guy, the shorts and sandals. Because he was the guy that founded the polar plunge. And so in order to get the guy that founded the polar plunge his son to sign over their deed, they all had to do a polar plunge. And so you can kind of tell that these events are shaping up that in order to get people's land, she's going to have to do, you know, random holiday-esque things.
Right. And so as soon as she dives in, the guy's like, yeah, I'll sign it over. And it was very odd because when she was like asking him, like, can I have your land? Like, we need to build a hotel. She didn't say, like, we'll pay you, you know, $100,000 or, you know, whatever would be comparable.
Yes.
She didn't offer any money. She was just like, can I have this? I need it.
Yeah, they're this they're trying to build this obviously, like, rich multi-million-dollar project, and they're being held up by 5 individual people, and she's over there, please give me your land.
Give it. I really want it.
And these people are just like, okay.
Okay.
You jumped in the water. Why not?
Sure.
You helped me win a dance contest. Okay.
Okay. And so that was 2 of them. And then they went back to, like, the crazy woman's house, and she was like, I had a premonition, and it was a dust storm monster, but he was smiling. And they're like, okay, she's a little off her rocker. And so they left.
There were 2 other hints there, though. The
what was it?
Sleigh bell.
Oh, one was the sleigh bell. And a lady who carried...
radishes.
Well, no, she didn't say radishes.
Yeah.
No, she said it was a lady carrying a basket full of red ornaments, and then the lady started eating the ornaments, and she was horrified. And then the historian was like, radishes.
Yeah, okay.
So then they went off just to town and doing, you know, fun town activities because the guy is, like, making her. I'm not entirely sure. And so they get dressed up in, like, white bodysuits, and the guy has his steampunk goggles, and he just starts throwing spices at her, and she throws it at his face.
Yeah, then he takes her and is like, welcome to the...
spice throwing.
Yeah, like the spice fight or whatever, and it's like...
And it was so wasteful. Like, that's a lot of spices. Spices are expensive.
Yeah, it was just a group of the people in the town just chucking spices at each other like paintball games.
Yes!
Just running around in a crowd, throwing...
Yes!
And it was fun because she got the first blow. He was like, okay, so this is what you... And she just blasts him in the face with cinnamon.
I wonder if like,
just like
that was planned or if she like accidentally did it and he like went with it.
It was kind of funny. But yeah, the movie continues with that.
And so he's trying to like, when they're doing this spice thing, he was like trying to make out with her, and then she like dipped away, and she found some random old man, and so she's like, oh my god, an old person, they'll know.
Sure enough, they knew.
And so it was another guy. Who was that guy?
That was Vigo.
But who was he?
Vigo the Carpathian. No, it was... Vigo was the son of immigrants who came in.
Oh, the dust monster.
Yeah,
that's who he was. He was the dust monster because all the fluff and bluff.
Yeah, but he refused to sign over.
Yeah, he was like, no,
he
chick.
said, no,
like,
I'll think about thinking about it.
Yeah, like
and sent her on her way.
He's like, yeah, you're cute and hot and young, but keep stepping, miss. And she's like, oh my god, like I can't believe that.
I can't believe he didn't just want to give me his land.
He just didn't want to give me his land.
That time she actually was like, we'll pay you, and he was like, nah, money. It's
That's
not about
true.
the money. This is about not letting randos come and take over our town.
That's right. And so then she's all like, whatever, I'm still gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened next?
They went to
the historian guy was like, don't worry, little missy.
Radishes.
We're gonna... Oh, what was the radish?
That was what next. They cleaned up. There was some innuendo thrown in there because he was like, we need to shower.
Yes!
And then she after the spice fight, and she was like, and he's like, I'm gonna go home and shower. You go back to your hotel and shower. And she was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And so they met at the diner in town
for
the radish event, which was just a contest of who could carve radishes
with plastic
spoons,
plastic knives, and it's radish reindeer contest or something like that.
Yeah, it was some kind of Spanish thing.
Yeah. And
the contest was basically you're carving some kind of Christmas display out of radishes.
Yeah. And a plastic knife. And so she jumped in with the children and just kind of took over.
Yeah, she was helping the children with their reindeer thing.
Yeah, and she was just randomly having him talk, and the kids were looking at her like, honey, you're a little old.
They were like, man, this lady's a nerd.
Yeah, they're like, is something wrong with her? Like, why is she over here? And so, anyways, so while she's doing that, the guy finds out from whoever the lady who runs the radish contest, like her mother or whatever, was the lady who was eating the red ornaments that were the radishes.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh yeah, like we totally forgot about that. Like we don't care about it. Like you can have it.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh. And so there was one left, and they didn't know who it was. It was the winner of the Sleigh Bell Ball.
Yeah.
From 1965.
So the next day they get together, and he's like, well, good news for you. Tonight is the Sleigh Bell. So they go to the ball dressed up. She's wearing, because she didn't have, we'll get to this later, but so she didn't have anything to wear, and so she wore the mayor's outfit from like 1900. Yeah, like his tux. From the historical society. Yeah. The guy, he had clothing there, and she tried to wear the dress and failed. It was too small. But tell your observation of the 1900s clothes. Oh, it was fun because you had the mayor's tux, brand new modern tux with freshly starched collar, crisp white, brand new, and then you had this graying, like yellow, dingy white looking old dress. Yeah. And you're like, oh, these don't fit together at all. No. Like one of these looks dated, and the other looks like they just went to Men's Warehouse and bought a shirt and a tux, and we're like, okay, let's run with it.
I know. So anyway, so she wears that, and the guy meets up with a recluse for some reason and invites her to the ball because she hasn't left her house in 8 years. And so she randomly goes with him, and she's like, you have to take a leap if I'm taking a leap. And he's like, what do you mean?
And she's like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Hint, hint. It's like the whole town is pushing for him to get with the girl.
They're like, he's the most eligible bachelor. Meanwhile, he's like so awkward. Like in their first interaction, when he was leaving for the night, he was like, I'm gonna go, but I won't be chasing waterfalls. And she was like, frick? And he's like, no, I don't know. And we're like, don't go chasing waterfalls, okay?
Yeah, he just needs to stick to the rivers
and the lakes like you're used to.
Yeah.
And then another time when they were leaving, he like did the finger guns at her, and she's just like, okay.
Yeah, they the first night when they left, he like, it was that awkward, like, I don't know if I'm giving you a handshake or a hug and so they're like, one goes for a hug, the other goes for a handshake, the other goes for like
fist bump,
and yeah, they ended on a fist bump, and it's just like, all right, you guys, you're clearly having some difficulties here.
Yeah.
But so the ball.
So they're at the ball, and it's in this, you know, old historic, because everything there is historic.
Yeah.
Hall, I guess. And so everyone's having fun there, blah, 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 blah. And then out of nowhere, little Missy is like, oh yeah, the ball won't be here anymore. It's going to be in the new ballroom at the hotel. And we're going to have this, and we're going to have this. And actually, this current hall, we're probably going to turn into like a rental, like after we do modifications, of course.
It was so weird because this event, it was like, it went from, she started out in the very beginning of the event, she was her normal self. She's talking about how grateful she was to be on all these adventures and learn all this stuff about the town. And then it would just like almost immediately snapped.
Yes.
And then she was just like saying how like, oh, well, we'll just change this and we'll do this and we'll change this. And meanwhile, the historian had told her his life story about how he lived with his grandparents at this town, and then a company came in and built a factory and destroyed the town and changed it all. And so he came to him and his grandparents moved back to Happy Hollow, and he was determined to never let that happen again. So he's listening to her like, oh yeah, we'll change this and we'll move this over there, and he's just like, I don't like this. Like, what is she talking about?
And so everything in town is like Happy Hollow, blah, 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 blah. So for their hotel, it's Happy, Happi Hotel. And everyone in town's like, oh, honey, that's so pretentious.
Everybody
and she's just
was
like,
making fun
what?
of it. It was great.
Yeah. And so anyways, so that's like the guy's upset with her, and she's walking out. She's like, what's wrong? And he's like, what were the words?
Well, no, it was...
Oh, okay, yeah.
They find out, basically, the recluse wins the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time she's ever won it. And she goes up and congratulates her and hands her something that she dropped, and sees that Jack's grandmother was the one who won the ball in 65.
Yes.
And is the person with the last plot of land.
Yes.
So she goes outside to try and find him and confronts him.
She's like, you had it this whole time?
Yeah.
You made me look like a fool. And he was like, it's interesting how you can go from like, you know, so charming to an opportunistic capitalist or something like that.
So she was talking to him, and she was like, you strung me along, you wasted my time, all of this, and he was like, well, I didn't feel like it was wasted time. And she was just like, well, are you gonna give me the land? And he was like no. And that's when he was like, it was impressive to see how quickly cold and calculated you could be.
Calculated and opportunistic.
Yeah. And so they left, and she got all salty and came home.
Drove home.
And was complaining to her coworker on Christmas Eve about how they're not going to get to do this because she couldn't get the last deed.
And she's like, I guess I'll have to have an 11-year plan. And the friend's like, girl, you were crushing on this guy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so she convinces, she's like, I want to go back. The friend. And so she was like, all right, whatever. So then she just gets back from driving 3 hours. So then they drive 3 hours back because tonight is the, like, gift-giving ceremony.
Yeah, the gift-giving ceremony where they do, it's basically a Secret Santa for the whole town. So they get up there. She's like, is it cool if I say something? And she gives this heartfelt speech about how she felt like she really enjoyed her time with the town and all of that.
It's so special and magical.
Yep. But someone is going to build a hotel, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but someone will. And I'd rather it be someone that has the heart of the town within them and stuff.
And she was saying how the land that they purchased, it had, like, old buildings on it or whatever. And she was like, but don't worry, all of those will be saved. And I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, she's, like, keeping them there. No, she's just going to refurbish the place, decorate it, like, with their shiplap or with their brick or with...
Yeah.
Which I understand, but that's not what she said. She said they're going to be saved.
Yeah, reusing the materials of the buildings there to make a gigantic hotel.
Right.
That they're going to run out of those materials for...
I know. They're not... I know.
So, yeah, that was goofy. The friend that convinced her to go meets the polar plunge guy, and they bond over a goofy owl thing that she kind of had going on throughout the beginning of the movie.
And of course, it happened to be this guy's owls.
Yes.
So they're like, oh, let's go off into the wilderness in the dark.
Yep.
And so, of course, the guy sees her, and he was like, oh, yay. And she was like, I just want to do adventures with you.
And he was like, well... I appreciate your, your dedication to this, and it looks good. I'll sign over my land.
Because of course.
And then he kisses her.
And it's over.
The end. What a happy ending.
Indeed.
I enjoyed it. The scavenger hunt part was kind of fun for me. But it was fun. The conflict seemed shoehorned, but that's what these movies are.
Absolutely. It's funny because, like, almost all of these movies have a real estate developer coming in, and
it's like always the bad guy is the real estate.
Yeah. My biggest pet peeve, do you know what it was?
Oh yeah, the clothes.
Okay, so she was from the city, I don't know, Minneapolis, like Missouri, Chicago, we don't know. So she's like, I'm going to be there in 3 hours, I'm going to get all the deeds, and then I'm going to be back. The girl had 5 outfit changes while she was there.
Multiple coats,
multiple hats, and 5 different outfits. Now, if you're just driving there for like an hour and driving home the same day, how do you have all those clothes? And that was just annoying because I'm like, she's wearing a new outfit! She's like, what is this?
Yeah. That was funny. You were enjoying that.
That was the biggest flaw, I feel. Because she wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
And she'd go shopping at the stores.
It was also funny that like she couldn't figure all this stuff out because there was like tree branches down, so she couldn't get to the county. The county
records.
Well, then how did she get here? Like,
oh yeah.
Is it she just managed to get in on the one road that isn't broken down?
I don't know, but she had a million outfits, and of course she was like, wearing high heels in the snow, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. But it was fun.
It was fun.
What would you rate it?
I feel very generous this year. I'm gonna do another 6.5.
I'm gonna say an 8. I'm gonna say this was an enjoyable one. This was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. It was silly. The main character was a dork, which helps
It was
make
kind of
it
interesting
a little
because
more happy to me because
normally they have like the bros be very like, oh, my jawline is so tight it could cut a raft.
yeah, they're like, I'm a lumberjack.
I'm a lumberjack. I'm a woodworker. I strangle bears. And this guy's just like, I chase waterfalls.
And he's like, I'm a historian.
The doy.
But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Holiday and Happy Hollow. Oh, yeah. Holiday and Happy Hollow. And then she's like, during her final speech, she's like, and guys, we're going to change the I to a Y in happy.
Yep. So yes, it was happy.
The
It might have been hollow.
end.
Have a good one. We'll see you next time.